Hello, I'm Johnny and I'm going to be showing you the lighting desk in Drama 2. So this is the lighting desk we can see here, and I've got another camera set up just looking at the lights in the room so far. But if I just go through what's on the desk first, some of its simple functions, and then we'll get into programming and doing some chases. So if we start on the left here, we've got this section called fixtures, and each of these fixtures are numbered, and these represent all the lights in the rig, apart from one, which is the spotlight, but I want to show you that afterwards. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the top. So I'm just going to turn the desk off and turn it on again. And we're going to start from scratch. So if I hit fixture 1, what that's done now, as the light has lit up in green, it's now said that I am now talking to this fixture. And I can talk to more than one fixture at a time. But if I just show you the first fixture, my first fader, I have written it down on this strip of white tape down here. My first fixture is my master dimmer. And I always, as a default, I put this up all the way. So think of your master dimmer as a master volume or my overall intensity. And the corresponding faders along here, and I've also labelled them, is red, green, blue, amber. We've got a strobe time, and then we've also got a colour matrix. And then this last fader we're not using. So as I've got my master intensity up, and I've got my fixture 1, we'll then be able to see, as I pull up my fader, which is labelled red, we'll then see that our first light emits a red colour. And if I bring that down, we can go through the rest of the faders. We've got green, we've got blue, we've got amber. Now we've got a strobe time, so on its own it does nothing, but once we have a colour and we're sending it a colour, it will then flash that colour. So there I've just got red, and this represents a different time it will strobe. If I bring all those faders down, but keep my master intensity up, if I bring up my colour matrix, it's going to scroll through a load of preset values that have different colours saved in them. Now, a great thing about this desk is if I highlighted more than one light, I can do all these changes to the same light. And all those lights, fixtures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, will all do the same thing. Let's pull them back down. If we look at the sides of this, I've tried my best to label them. I did do this over a year ago, but I use my first 3 lights, fixtures 1, 2, and 3, as front lights. So if I bring up my intensity again, and if I mix red, green, and blue together, I get a white colour. And I use these first 3 lights just to hit people's faces, and I'm going to add a bit of amber in there just to warm it up. And I use these as my front lighting to hit people's faces, and then I can untick those, and that lighting state will stay active, and then I can colour the rest of my stage with these other lights. So 4, 5, and 6 I've labelled here as my down stage. If I go over here, 7, 8, and 9 I've labelled as my center stage, and then my 10 to 12 I've labelled as my upstage. Now I mentioned before, all these fixture numbers represent the 12 lights that we have in the rig. So these 12 fixture numbers we have here represent each light that's in the rig. We have 12 lights in total, 13 if we include the spotlight. Now, if I activate these and I'm on page A, I can access all the lights in the rig. Now, I mentioned earlier that we also have a spot rigged. So I pull these back down, untick these, and I'm going to click 1, but I'm going to go to my page B. Now this is where I've hidden the spotlight. So I have 13 lights in total. 12 are accessible on page A. The spotlight is on page B on fixture 1. Now, the last thing I want to mention to you in operating the desk manually, I've got some scenes saved up here. Now, if you look over to our LCD screen, you can see there's some numbers here, and underneath where it says bank, I'm in bank 1. So we can go through the banks by cycling up here, bank up, bank down. But by default, I've saved some scenes in bank 1. So if we just go through bank 1, so these are some pre-saved scenes. So we've got like a warm wash, cool wash, another kind of cool wash. Now we're getting to more of like a midnight. I've got a spot in there. We've got a blue. We've got a front fill only. And then we've got like a silhouette backlit only. So these are you can access these scenes at any time. To get that row of 8 default that I've saved in there, make sure we're on bank 1, and then you get 8 scenes in each bank. Now the last thing I didn't mention is I've also saved you a chase. So if we just click chase 6 and we hit auto, it's going to cycle through that chase. And we can adjust the chase speed here. Because I've got it as auto, I can adjust my speed here using this fader. And I can also adjust the transition rate using this fader, and it will fade between each step. And then to come out of the chase, I'm just going to hit chase, hit auto, and you'll see that the auto button came off there, and you'll see that the auto light came off there, and the number 6 that was in the chase side also came off. So I just want to recap what we've gone over so far on operating the desk manually. On the left hand side where it says fixtures, each one of these 12 buttons represent the 12 lights we have in the rig in Drama 2. Apart from in page B on number 1, we also have a spotlight that I've included. When we tap on the light, it now means that we are now talking to that light and it's active. Our first fader is our master dimmer. And then we have red, green, blue, amber, strobe time, and a colour matrix. So if we bring up the red, red will come up. If we bring up the green, green will come up. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that with this desk, it doesn't save, it's not automatic on the faders. So if I flick to another colour, and previously when it was active, if another fader was up, a colour may come in. So we may have to just pull up the faders and reset them to go again. So as I go back to 1 and 2, I have my light set already up. You can see that. That's because it doesn't save anything. So even though I've got my faders down, it doesn't record that I pulled my faders down. So we'd have to go back into our faders, just pull them up, pull them back down again, just to reset it. Across the top, we've got 8 scenes. We have 30 banks. In bank 1, I have some preset saves. So I have warm wash, cool wash, another cool wash, a light blue wash now, a spot, a midnight blue, all front lighting, and back lighting, which is good for silhouettes. And that's in bank 1. And we can access our banks using these 2 buttons here. To activate a chase, I'm just going to double tap number 8 to take it out. I've saved a chase preset in number 6. I'm going to hit chase. As you can see, it doesn't do anything yet, but if I hit auto, it's then going to cycle through my chase. And I can control the speed using this fader. And the transition between each step using this fader. Come out of the chase, hit the chase number again, hit auto. Both light indications will go out. I'm now going to show you program mode. Earlier I showed you using the scenes button how we can bring up pre-saved states. So program mode is used to program lighting state for playback. To enter program mode, we're going to press and hold program, and the little green dot at the bottom left of our LCD screen is going to flash to show us that we're in program mode. Now, I've already got some states saved in my scenes 1 to 8 here. So what I'm going to do is actually going to go up to a bank I know is empty, as I've already saved those. I'm going to go up to 25, and I know 25 is empty, because if I click on some of these numbers, nothing comes up. So let's start with number 1. Similar to how we did before, I can pull up my fixtures. I've highlighted 1, 2, 3 because I know that's going to be my front lighting. I'm going to bring up my master intensity. I know if I bring up red, green and blue at the same time, I'm going to get a white colour, and I can warm that up by adding some amber in there. And then I'm going to untick those lights. I'm no longer talking to those. Bring these back down. And I'm going to colour the rest of my stage with, let's go with red for now. And I'm going to hit this add button here, and I want to save it to scene 1. Now the whole desk will flash to say that you've done something, and in this case we've added that to the scene. And we can double check that what we've done has been saved by clicking to an empty scene and then going back. So we can untick those lights now and bring those down. So let's flick to an empty scene. Again, we can do something similar. I'm going to pull up fixtures 1, 2 and 3. This time I might make it a little bit more warmer, more amber. Untick those. And let's only go with my center stage bar. Pull up my master intensity, remembering that the fader positions aren't saved. I'm going to bring up my blue. I'm going to untick those. And my back bar, again resetting the faders because the positions aren't saved, I'm going to have those as green. I'm going to click add and hit a number. The desk is going to flash, tell me that that's now been saved. I go back to 1. We can see I've got my red. Go back to 2. You can see it saved my blue and green lights on the center stage and upstage bar. Untick those. I can reset my desk and go to another empty one. I'm going to bring in the spotlight. So remember before, our spotlight is saved on the page B. This is the only fixture that I've saved onto the second page. Hit fixture 1, bring up my master intensity. This time I'm going to bring in a little bit of amber and just warm that up to taste. So I cool it off. And then I'm going to go. Again, hit add. This time press number 3. Let's hit number 4. Now let's finish this off with a nice even stage wash. So going back to our page A, I'm going to press all my lights in, bring up the intensity, bring up and down again, RGB to get my white, and warm that up with my amber fader. And then we have a nice even stage wash. I'm going to hit add, press number 4, lights flash to say everything's been saved. I can untick these, reset my faders. Now that I've finished programming, I can press and hold my program button That is now flicked over to blackout. Once I hit blackout, I'm now out of program mode. Press number 4. By pressing the numbers, I can activate the scene and deactivate the scene. But now let's cycle through our scenes to make sure that they are there. There's our first scene. There's our second scene. There's our spotlight. And our stage wash. If we enter back into program mode, press and hold. If we need to delete a scene, we can come to the delete button here, press and hold, then hit the scene number. And we can see here that number 4 has now been deleted. Press and hold program, exit, blackout, and we're back. Now let's program a chase. Press and hold program. Here we have 3 states already saved. And our spotlight. Well, we can add more scenes before we get to our chase. So let's just program some more scenes in this bank to add to our chase. I'm going to have all my center stage green, save that scene 4. I'm going to have all my upstage red, save that in scene 5. I'm going to have all my downstage blue, save that into number 6. Now, with number 6 activated, I'm going to go to chase 5. I know I'm in chase 5 because underneath the LCD screen, we've got the chase description here and the number 5. And what I'm going to do now is activate a scene. Now, I can go to different banks and find another scene if I wanted to use it. But I'm going to use 25. So let's go back in here and activate that scene. Now, I'm going to double click add, and that's going to flash to say it's added now to my chase. And I'm going to hit number 2, hit add. And then I'm going to skip the spotlight, go to number 4, double click, hit add. 5, double click, hit add. 6, double click, hit add. And I'm going to exit program mode by holding program down, hitting blackout, and deactivate chase 5. I'm going to hit number 1. So here's all my normal scenes, not in chase mode. These are my scenes. But to activate chase mode, I'm going to hit the chase I want, chase 5. This is where I saved my steps in there previously. And I'm going to hit auto, and it's going to cycle through those scenes automatically. And I control that speed by using this fader here, and my transition speed using this fader here. Now to exit chase mode, I'm going to click auto, hit chase, and I'm going to hit my scene number which I want to go to.